Hi, I'm Kristen from Femme Cyclist, and today I am here with the VVolt Alpha step through. What you may not have noticed right away is that the VVolt is actually an electric bike. This is a Class 1 e-assist bike. And the coolest thing about it is that it's just very sleek looking and it doesn't immediately look like an e-bike. The other thing that really sets this bike apart is its simplicity. We see a lot of e-bikes nowadays, especially ones at this price point, that have big fat tires, that have an unnecessary suspension fork. All those things are things that just add complexity and weight, and the VVolt is just a super simple, great bike for getting around town. They've kept the price on this really low at $1,400. This is probably the best bike you can get, in my opinion. They've kept things really simple with this Gates belt drive and a single speed. You can leave this outside in the rain at work. You don't have to worry about things getting rusty. Belt drives are super low maintenance, as is the fact that it's a single speed drivetrain. Speaking of the single speed, it worked for me most of the time. Because of the e-assist, I was able to get up the hill to my house really easily. I never felt overgeared. I did, however, sometimes riding in fast traffic downtown, I felt undergeared. I didn't feel like I could go quite as fast as I wanted to when I was spun out on those flat roads. So that was something to keep in mind. Like I already mentioned, this is a Class 1 e-bike. That means it's just an e-assist. It kicks in when you're pedaling. No throttle, which I think on this bike is fine. It's so lightweight that you don't have any need for a throttle. It has LCD display where you can adjust the power level. There are 5 power levels, and I found like 1 was just fine for flat roads, and I needed the 5 to get up the hill to my house, which is quite steep. It has a 20 mile per hour max, which is common with e-bikes. I found it was really easy to get up to about 16, 17, 18 miles an hour. Getting those extra 2 miles per hour, I had to put in quite a bit of effort to get there. But still not bad for getting to work or getting around town, wherever you need to go. The bike has some quite knobby tires on it, which is nice. You can ride it if you've got some dirt on your bike commute or a canal path, for instance. These tires can totally handle that. The bike has a hub drive motor. That means that the motor is actually in that rear wheel's hub. And this isn't quite as nice as a mid-drive motor. You feel it a little bit jerkier. So for instance, this bike like really takes off and then kind of slows down again. I don't mind it, and you get used to it really quickly, but that is something to keep in mind. It's just not quite as smooth as the mid-drive motor. It's a lot cheaper. That's why they put these hub drive motors on there. So I already mentioned this bike is super cost competitive. You get a lot for your money. However, they have kept the price down by not using brand name components. So we've got hydraulic disc brakes, but they're radius. So not like the Shimano disc brakes or some of the other brand name disc brakes we find on other more expensive electric bikes. The tires are off-brand. Pretty much everything is off-brand. But that might be a totally okay compromise for you to keep the price so low. Again, this bike is just super lightweight. It's only 44 pounds, which is about 20 pounds less than any of the other e-bikes that I own. And it makes a big difference because if you accidentally run out of battery life before you make it home, this bike you can actually ride. I rode it around town with the e-assist turned off, and it was completely doable. So that really is a differentiator for the VVolt. You can see this is the step-through frame. This is really nice for getting on and off the bike. It also comes in a traditional frame version if you don't want the step-through frame. You could definitely put a rack on the rear. There are some eyelets for that. There are also eyelets up here on the fork, so you can put bags up there. Overall, I would highly recommend the VVolt for anybody who's on a budget, anybody who wants an e-bike that's not obviously an e-bike, and anybody who just wants to keep it really simple. This is a low maintenance bike. It's got everything that you need and nothing that you don't. Highly recommended.